Hello, aspiring Java developers. Welcome to another exciting whiteboard tutorial. Today, we are going to unravel a super important concept in Spring Boot development, profiles and configuration. Imagine you are building a fantastic application, but it needs to behave differently when you are just developing it, when you are testing it, and when it is finally live for your users. How do you manage all these different settings? Well, Spring Boot profiles come to our rescue. In this video, we will understand what profiles are, why they are essential, how to activate them, and see some practical examples. By the end of this tutorial, you will be able to configure your Spring Boot applications like a seasoned professional, handling different environments with ease. So, grab your virtual notebooks, and let us dive in. Alright, let us start by understanding what Spring Boot profiles truly are. Think of profiles as named logical groups of configuration. It is like having different outfits for different occasions. For your development environment, you might want to use an in-memory database like H2. For your production environment, you would definitely need a robust database like PostgreSQL or MySQL. Instead of manually changing code or properties every single time, Spring Boot profiles allow us to define these environment-specific settings in separate configuration files. This makes our applications incredibly flexible and easy to manage. When you define a profile, you are essentially saying, when this profile is active, use these specific settings. It is a powerful way to keep your application adaptable without constantly modifying your core code. This separation of concerns is a cornerstone of robust application development. Now that we know what profiles are, the next logical question is, how do we tell Spring Boot which profile to use? There are several ways to activate a profile. The most common method is by setting the spring.profiles.active property. You can define this in your main application.properties or application.yml file. For example, spring.profiles.active is equal to development would activate the development profile. Another powerful way is to activate profiles directly from the command line when you run your Spring Boot application. You can use the -spring.profiles.active argument. For instance, Java jar myapp.jar spring.profiles.active is equal to production would launch your application with the production profile enabled. This command line activation is especially useful in continuous integration and continuous deployment pipelines, allowing you to deploy the same artifact to different environments by just changing the activation command. Remember, you can activate multiple profiles by separating their names with a comma. Let us put our knowledge into practice with a concrete example. We will see how to create beans that are active only when a specific profile is enabled. Imagine you have a notification service interface. In your development environment, you might want a dev notification service that simply logs messages to the console, but in production, you need a SMS notification service that actually sends real text messages. Spring Boot provides the add profile annotation for this exact scenario. You can annotate your service implementation classes with add profile, dev or add profile, production. When the dev profile is active, only the dev notification service, bean, will be created and injected. When the production profile is active, The SMS notification service will be used instead. This is incredibly powerful for injecting different dependencies based on the active environment, making your application truly dynamic and environment-aware. It is a clean and modular way to manage varying business logic. As beginners, it is common to encounter a few hiccups when working with Spring Boot profiles. Let us discuss some common mistakes and how to avoid them, along with some best practices. A frequent mistake is forgetting to activate a profile, leading to unexpected default behavior. Always ensure spring.profiles.active is set correctly either in your configuration files or via command line. Another common error is inconsistent naming. Always use clear, consistent names for your profiles, like dev, test, prod. A best practice is to always define a default profile. This profile will be active if no other profile is explicitly specified, providing a fallback configuration. Also, remember to externalize your configuration as much as possible, especially sensitive data like database credentials, using environment variables or external configuration servers. This enhances security and flexibility across environments. Adhering to these tips will make your profile management much smoother. Wonderful job, everyone! We have covered a lot in just a few minutes. Let us quickly recap the key takeaways from today's session on Spring Boot profiles and configuration. First, we learned that Spring Boot profiles are a fantastic way to manage environment-specific configurations, ensuring your application behaves correctly across development, testing, and production. Second, we saw how to activate profiles using the spring.profiles.active property in configuration files or through command line arguments. Third, we explored the powerful @profile annotation, which allows us to register beans conditionally based on the active profile, enabling different implementations for different environments. Finally, we touched upon common mistakes and best practices, such as always having a default profile and externalizing sensitive configurations. Keep practicing these concepts, and you will soon master environment-aware applications. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting Java programming tutorials. Keep coding and keep learning. See you in the next video.